Oh, it's been a while since I made a video. Hey guys, it's DC here, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got started in cybersecurity freelancing. I've decided recently that I want to take this channel's focus more towards what I actually do each and every day, which is freelancing cybersecurity services. It's my main job. I work for myself. I'm pretty proud of myself by being able to achieve what I've achieved over the last few years. And I want to take you guys on that journey with me to understand how you can possibly do this for yourself. This story starts around 5 or 6 years ago. Now, for those of you who have been watching this channel for a while now, you'll know that I was working in cybersecurity primarily in contracting for government organizations. Now, there is a difference between contracting and freelancing or consultancy work, which I'll quickly explain. Consulting is where you go to a business like a managed service provider like Data3 or NTT, and they place you into a contract that goes for 3, 6, or 12 months. The money in these contracts is usually pretty good, like 2 or 3 times a full-time salary wage. However, you don't get holidays, you rarely get time off, and often you get thrown under the bus with some pretty serious deadlines that you have to meet. Freelancing or consulting, in the way that I talk about freelance consultancy work, is setting up your own business, bringing in your own business clients that you work directly with, and you offer services to those businesses and complete those services. Think of it as you're setting up your own business and you're going to other businesses as a business owner to complete services for that business. It's pretty straightforward. So going back to 5 or 6 years ago, I was working as a security professional working in government contracts primarily. On the side of this, I decided to start my own freelance consultancy. Now, how I got into this is kind of a weird story because I tried lots of different options to build this business up and to get things going. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. It's the nature of business. Not everything you try works out. And I wanted to find out, while I was still contracting, how I could make money for myself without relying on contract work or working full-time. Now, if you are like me, working a full-time job gets very, very boring and it's just too much routine for me. I prefer the sort of chaos of life and being able to sort of build my own things. I'm a big builder. I love building projects up, startups, things like that. I love that sort of stuff. So what I was doing is going to business networking meetings and talking to other business owners. I was going to startup workshops where there were other startup businesses and talking with them and trying to get an understanding of what they were doing and how they were doing it and what sort of services I could offer as a security professional to these businesses directly. Over the years, and while doing this on the side of working basically full-time in different contracts over 5, 6 years, I finally found a few services that sold the most to my own clients. And the kind of clients that I was trying to pick up primarily, and the ones that worked for me, were small to medium businesses. You know, those businesses that were, one employee, like a boutique, just one person shop, like a real estate management business, for example, all the way to like a medical center that had maybe 20 staff. This was like my market that I found worked most for me. And for each person, it's a different story. The services that I was selling primarily were pen testing and compliance audits. The way I would sell these services as recurring services is as like a package. So I would say, you get a penetration test or a vulnerability assessment, and we'll do one and then we'll do another one in 6 or 12 months' time. And the same thing went for compliance audits. I would package them as recurring services and offer them every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every 12 months. It really depends on the appetite that that business has for security. And as a professional, your job is to tell them about the risk of not having regular compliance audits or not having regular penetration tests or things like this. So sort of portraying the need for cybersecurity services, and a good way to do that is by talking about risk. A lot of people ask me, how are you doing on Upwork or Fiverr or freelancer.com? And my answer is quite simple. I don't use these services very often, if at all. I find that they're flooded with requests for work that don't really align with my own morals or the type of work that I actually want to complete. I also find that they're flooded with people who can charge or want to charge substantially less than what I do. And that's usually just a geographical thing. Like I want to bill in Australian dollars on an Australian hourly rate. And on Fiverr or Upwork, that doesn't really work when someone from another country can charge maybe 1/3 or even less of what I want to charge. So for me, this didn't really work out as a potential option. Over the years and talking to these different businesses and thinking about the types of businesses that have risky information and risky data, this is where I put most of my efforts into actually like advertising and doing outreach too, talking directly to these types of businesses and these industries so that I could potentially sell them services and get them onto a security plan. Another question that I have come to me is, what kind of work do you actually do? And like I said, pen testing and compliance audits is my bread and butter. However, as it is a consultancy, you do often get requests for other things. Like, honestly, I do still get requests to fix printers, which I absolutely hate, but I'll still do it. I'm not saying that I'm better than this or I'm not going to do that. If a business or a customer of mine comes to me and says, hey, we need some help with setting up some new users in our Active Directory. Sure, no problems. It'll take me 20 seconds. I'll jump on, create the user account, send the password to whoever needs it, give them the access that they need, off you go. Is that more of a managed service provider than a security consultant? Maybe. However, the main services that I'm selling are still pen testing and compliance audits, which are definitely in the cybersecurity realm of services to provide. The other thing to think of, especially when starting, is that these types of smaller services, like your ad hoc support type services, do help to bring in a little bit of extra money. If you're charging $100 or $200 an hour, whatever it is, somewhere in between those figures, and it takes you half an hour to create a user, assign permissions, give them folder access and jump on a PC and set up their account there as well, that's still a little bit of extra money that you wouldn't have made before. It also keeps your customer happy and in the loop within the services that you're providing, and it's just a benefit. It's just a good thing to do to help keep your clients happy and to also then provide additional services too. Now, the whole reason I got into freelancing as a consultant in cybersecurity primarily is because I wanted to travel the world, which is currently what I'm doing. In 2023 and so far throughout this year, I've been to China, Laos, Thailand, Singapore, Japan, and soon I plan to go to South Korea just to continue working from there while also traveling and seeing the world. I don't have any children at the moment, so this is something that I wanted to do before that time comes for me. I want to be able to travel and see the world before I have to focus on, raising a child, which is something I'm very excited for, don't get me wrong. But timing is important, and I didn't want to wait until I was, retired to be able to do this. I wanted to focus my efforts on building this business so that I had the freedom to travel. And then when I do have a child, I can then spend more time with that child, working from home or working from anywhere, or even taking them to travel with me. These are the sort of things that excite me in this industry. These are the things that, this is the whole reason why I wanted to do this, is to get out and see the world. I really don't like sitting in an office all day, every day. And oh man, the culture of the office is just something that honestly kills my soul. I can't stand it. And I might be the only one in the world who's like this. I don't know. But for me, this is why I wanted to make this change, which is exactly why I did this. Cybersecurity freelancing has quite literally changed my life. I now make similar money to what I was making when I was contracting, but I have the freedom to work quite literally from anywhere that I have an internet connection. And that is exactly what I wanted. The clients that I work with, they're thankful, they're happy, it's just so much more rewarding to talk with a client who says, Dave, you've absolutely saved our life. We couldn't appreciate the work that you've done more. Honestly, it's been great. And hearing feedback like that really helps you to try better and try harder and to do more for yourself. This is something that I really enjoy, and something that I didn't get while I was working, especially in contracting, where you're pretty much given these crazy deadlines. They're like, do it now or get fired. You're like, great, okay, sweet. Or working in a full-time job where you come into the office for the culture, and you basically just burning the candle each and every day with the same sort of routine. For some people, they love routine. I've worked with people before who really love routine, and they see these, good dollar figures, which are great, but there's no risk, there's no real reward. It's just a career where you're working each and every day to get by. And that is something that I do not want to ever have to experience again. I don't want to be in that situation. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be making a lot more videos about freelancing and cybersecurity, the lifestyle that I'm living, and just to promote freelancing in cybersecurity as a thing. I think it's something that's interesting. I want to take you on the journey with me. And yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing here from now on. So if you're all for that, I'll see you on the next video. If not, have a good life. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.